Hello everyone, hope you're doing good. I'm your host Martin Frank on the Spurs Pursuit. Let's get right into the review of the Crystal Palace game yesterday. Not too much to talk about because I will just touch upon two things. Everyone knows the importance and the seriousness of the situation right now. So let me just quickly guide you through the game. Tottenham Hotspur started very cagey. It was felt in the stands, it was felt on the field. There was not too much happening. It wasn't a lively game of football. However, Tottenham Hotspur managed to score a goal that meant something in the game. They were in the lead for the first time since January after Archer created fantastically on the byline. Beat two players, fizzed it in, and Dominic Solanke had it on a play where Dean Henderson was absolutely hopeless. Energy erupted in the fan base. A sort of relief was felt in the stands, and everyone felt so positive that maybe it wasn't as bad a situation as we thought. Well, no, just 2 minutes that lasted, that euphoria, because Tottenham Hotspur players felt a sort of tension of, we are in the lead, but we realised the situation, it was a sort of panic stations moment from them. And what happens, Kevin Danso, one centre-back, loses a key header against Jurgen Strand-Larsen, who fantastically places a header into the path of Ismail Assar, who goes clean on goal because Mickey van der Ven is wrong side of him. However, he's not in a clear shooting position that results in a goal. Vicario is coming out and Mickey van der Ven, brain dead moment, brings him down. And this is where the whole game flips because Mickey van der Ven gets sent off. Crystal Palace scored a penalty and the mentality shows. It completely crumbles. Every single player on that field crumbled because Crystal Palace in extra time managed to score 2 goals and kill the game off. And that's all we will talk about because the second half was just a friendly exhibition, really. Crystal Palace in control of the game and Tottenham Hotspur had 2 half-hour chances with Dominic Solanke getting a shot at Dean Henderson and Kevin Danso with a power header that was saved anyway. So nothing happened in that second half worth noting. So let's focus on 2 things. Number 1, lack of leadership in the team. Again, the second captain in the second month that lets his team down in a relegation battle. The first being Christian Romero, now Mickey van der Ven. Van der Ven's situation is slightly different. He is trying to make up for his mistake of being wrong side of Ismail Assar. By doing so, he actually adds a million more problems and doesn't resolve any situation at all. It's a very similar situation to Radu Dragusin in the Europa League last year against Karabakh, where he got sent off for slipping and then grabbing the player in a moment's, in the heat of the moment. And it's the same thing for Mickey van der Ven. He is not trying to get himself sent off. He is not trying to sabotage the game. However, by trying so desperately to fix one issue, you actually add 100 more. And that was proved to be the case. So a lack of leadership and a lack of experience from him, because any experienced player does not put 2 hands trying to rip Ismail Assar's hand off. Doing so, he killed the game. However, he killed the game partly because it was still 1-0 as that penalty went in. It was the players around him and the lack of leaders around him on the field that showed that there's no one there to stop a crumbling Tottenham Hotspur team. Just one day prior, Newcastle against Manchester United. Newcastle were able to defeat Manchester United with 10 men in the last minute, scoring 2 goals with 10 men. And Manchester United are not Crystal Palace, with all due respect to the Eagles. So, with a lack of leadership in a relegation fight, Tottenham Hotspur are by far the favourites to go down. There is no doubt about it. There is no leader. There is no personality in that team. The only player that looked to make a difference was Archie Gray, a 19-year-old player. The senior players around him were all anonymous. That's the situation of Tottenham Hotspur right now. And that brings me on to what next for Tottenham. This is all we can talk about right now. There's no point in dissecting the game. What next? Tottenham Hotspur's next 3 fixtures are Atletico Madrid, Liverpool, Atletico Madrid. If we don't get anything out of that Liverpool game, whether that be a performance, because Christian Romero will be back so that the primary captain is back, the players realise they are in a relegation scrap. If we don't see a positive reaction there, what can we expect from the most important game of the season, of the modern era of Tottenham Hotspur? And that wasn't yesterday. That is in 2 weeks' time on the 22nd of March on a Sunday against Nottingham Forest, the relegation rivals. If you defeat them somehow, you manage to re-spark, to revive the fan base and the belief in yourself as well. I'm speaking directly to the players. Of course, they're not going to be watching, but the message is for them. If they are able to perform and to win, to show fight, to show desire, because that is what Nottingham Forest will come and do. Nottingham Forest will most likely be in control of the game, not in possession, in control of the game. So we need to rely on individual moments to get us out of this relegation scrap. 11 consecutive games in a row where Tottenham Hotspur have failed to win a game of football. That speaks volumes. We are by far most likely to go down. Yes, injuries, players coming back will help us. Mohamed Kudus potentially in April. Destiny Udogie. Now Christian Romero, yes, he's not coming back from injury. Mickey van der Ven will only face a 1-game suspension, so he will be available for Nottingham Forest. That is the game Tottenham Hotspur fans will need to look forward to. And yes, everyone is downbeat. Everyone has accepted relegation. However, looking forward, it's not true yet. But that Nottingham Forest game can kill. It can so kill any chance of us surviving in the Premier League. So, the lack of mentality, we can't do too much about that. Well, we can actually. I actually meant to say the lack of leadership. But the mentality is something you can work with. You can work on your self-esteem. You can work on your self-confidence. Because you've got 2 months left and you are paid insane wages to perform one funny job, and that is to kick a football. You have had one job since December, to win a game of Premier League football, and you have failed on 11 consecutive attempts. The worst run since 1994. Oh my days. We could be relegated after 49 years. So, yes, next week we play Liverpool. However, we need to be looking forward. We need to be looking forward at that Nottingham Forest game in 2 weeks' time, because that is the decision maker. That is the most important game in recent history. I've got nothing more to say. I've said what I've wanted to say. Thank you for watching, and let's take a break from Tottenham Hotspur, shall we? See you later.